What's going on, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. Paul and I are here at the river. We're about to go fish it. It's gonna be a blast. And you know what we realized? Our new kayaks, the Crescent Shoalies, need some wheels. We realized this luckily a few weeks ago when we ordered some, and we decided we would get two different kinds. We're thinking cheap versus expensive kayak wheels, and they just happen to be right here. So we got some fancy pants Yak Attack with some gosh dang kickstands on it. And we have some not fancy pants. What is it called? Find X. Gan find this in a store, am I right?
Only get this on Amazon.
And we decided, let's put them head to head. So here's the cost that we're looking at with both of these. Find X, Amazon, 80 bucks. They had a 20% off coupon.
Two-day delivery.
80 bucks, 2-day delivery. Yak Attack, how much?
180 bucks, $179.99 from Amazon. 2-day delivery as well.
So the question is it worth it? Can you work it? Put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it. The question is it worth it to spend the extra $100 for these babies, or just go cheap with this? So today is the first time we're actually using these two things. So we figured it's a perfect time to do this video. So let's get into it. We'll do a little side-by-side comparison. We'll talk about the build. We'll talk about the build quality. We'll put the boats on them. We'll wheel them around real quick. And then we're gonna do the disassemble test as well, because both of these are supposed to flat pack pretty quickly. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so first off, let's look at these two side by side, right? One of the big differences you'll notice is wheel diameters. I'm looking at these Yak Attack wheels also. They looks like they're built for a bomb to go off.
I think I want those on my truck.
These are heavy duty, about as heavy duty as you can get. Feels really nice, looks really good, and it's a huge diameter. What that means is it should be easier for this to roll, especially over obstacles. The smaller the diameter wheel is, the more likely it's going to get caught up on things like rocks, sticks, logs, etc. So it's similar to mountain bikes. If you got like a 20-inch, 24-inch, 26-inch, 29-inch wheels, those bigger diameter wheels, so much easier to climb up your hills, to get, you know, it's basically easy pedaling over those things, and to get over obstacles. Same rule applies here. So let's look at the build up top. First of all, let's check weight actually. Weight. Okay, so this hollowed out aluminum, a lot less heavy duty wheels. This is definitely lighter, the Find X from Amazon. This one is just, I mean, it seems to be built super heavy duty. There are kickstands on this one, no kickstands on this one, go figure. This design here also, there's not a lot of like, check this out, wiggle room, zero, but I had to tighten this down, right? So these locking nuts right here, you see you've got a little finger tighten there. You can lock this. So if you find like the right width, and by width I'm talking about underneath your boat, so you set these at a width that perfectly fits.
In between these two pieces right here.
Yep. Go ahead.
Preferably in the middle of your boat.
Yep, just like that. So you can find that through a little trial and error. You can measure it out. It kind of depends on where on your boat it's going to go as well, because that can kind of taper throughout.
We got to the same answer.
It would seem that we have figured this out.
So the Yak Attack one is very easy. So this adjustability is pretty nice. You take this switch, you can go either left or right, and now this is loose to slide as needed, and then you can see which number you're at. So you just put it down when you find your number, and it clicks right into place.
And this one, while easy in theory, you do need to like lock these nuts down at some point, otherwise these are super wiggly. So you use this to find your distance, right? Just loosen that to the left, slide it over till you're at the right spot. Try to keep it even, so there's even distribution of weight across this aluminum bar there, so we're not getting warping or any sort of issues. And then once I find it, I tighten that down, come back with a wrench, tighten this down, and now it is secure, locked. The only problem with that is if I'm switching boats and they have different hull designs. So if I want to switch this boat to boat, I got to keep a wrench on hand, whereas Paul, with this design, will not need a wrench, which is kind of cool.
I did.
Wow. And how secure that goes with that simple little switch is impressive.
It's not. The other thing is, this one doesn't have a kickstand, so you notice when it's resting, it rests there or it rests there.
It likes to rest on its face.
Which this is a good place to rest.
Pow.
Maybe that's
Can you friggin' stop? This material right here is rubber, so it's grippy, it holds onto it. This actually has that as well. Right here, that's rubber, so that holds onto your boat. Cool thing about that, like you should strap these right? You should run a strap through here.
So mine has a spot.
Yours has a spot for it.
Here and on the other side. So you can go from here all the way up to like your handle, and then that doesn't spin. That's just on the center there.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And because of the width of the boat, it's going to come out from it, right?
And you can put it wherever you need. So if your handles are more in the back or in the middle or the front, you can manage it however you need to. But yeah, that just makes it really simple.
Whereas mine does not have any of those cool things. So what it has instead is you have to crisscross wrap this. You have to go around once, and then you go up around the boat, and then you crisscross the other side.
More applesauce over here.
Yep, and you do that just so this doesn't preferably slide around. Now, if I'm on a smooth surface, I don't really need to ratchet strap that because of that rubber. It'll grip the boat just fine. You can just wheel it down.
Super tall hills. A little all-terrain.
Right, this area here, going down the ramp, you're gonna wanna strap it up, right? And then we'll just wheel it down.
One thing I want to call out is these kickstands though. So we were talking about Jeff's, how it kind of teeter-totters back and forth. Mine certainly would too. If you move these kickstands out of the way, it would do the same thing. It would just hit its side. We'll show you how this works, but basically now I can set this up however I want it, tilted at any angle, so that when I pull it off my truck, I just set it right on here and it's waiting for me. I don't have to like guess and maybe move it, or because sometimes like when the boat hits right here, it's just gonna push it one direction instead of just setting nicely where it's supposed to set.
Yep.
That was probably my favorite part actually about this whole thing, was little kicky feet. So we'll show you how that works, but this is actually a huge benefit.
How quickly can you disassemble that? Ready?
So I push this button right here, wheel comes off, push the same button right here, and then, well, I have to undo this, and then
hope you guys are timing this.
you just slide it off. So I can do both sides in like 10 seconds.
Great, my turn.
Well, and the reassembly is actually even easier. So you just take this, and I'm on, and I just pick my spot. So I was at number 5 here.
Yep.
And then as far as the wheel goes, you just see the square, and you don't have to do anything. You just
square peg round hole.
Yeah, well, should be.
Says you.
Well, oh, yeah, there you go.
Use your muscles. All right, my turn. First of all, Paul, do you have a wrench?
Yeah, no, I don't.
All right, I'm gonna need a wrench to disassemble this.
No.
But here's. I will give it kudos. If you don't lock this down, right, there is just a push button on the side here that just comes off.
I like that.
You have to not lose this washer.
Oh no.
So you take that off stay. And then you would just loosen this bad boy up, and then this would slide off. The problem is that I have locked the lock nut down, as you should, so that this isn't super wobbly, so I can't take this all apart right now. So big dub goes to the Yak Attack, I guess I would say.
Well, and that matters because sometimes you're gonna walk your boat a super long distance, or you're going on a trip. Maybe you're gonna have 2 or 3 stops, or and you want to put it in the back of your boat, which is the nice thing about the Boondocks landing gear is it's attached to your boat at all times. You always have your wheels. In this scenario, if I wanted this for like a long trip, or I was at a place where I wasn't leaving my vehicle, that can come with me, and it's a really small package that just stows away in the inside of my boat. And I don't need any tools, and I might not lose anything. And I mean, how many times do you put down a screw, look this way, then look back that way, but it's gone, like every time.
To be fair, because somebody will say it in the comments, I can just bring a wrench, and I definitely would, and I usually do. I usually have a toolkit with me. We're running a little bit light on the river today, so I didn't bring it with me, but I would just loosen that. It doesn't need to come apart, so you just loosen this. This will slide off. The washer I can put back onto this main tubular frame, and then I can lay it down. The other thing I will point out though, this is a kind of a pro-con. Look at the length of these bars, right? So I've got more weight distribution on this design
Because they're longer.
than this design. That said, when you go to flat pack it, and again, like unless this is a super heavy boat, that's irrelevant. Like this isn't making a big difference on a Crescent Shoaly. When you flat pack it, all these pieces are very similarly sized. It looks like we could take this and literally jigsaw puzzle it super flat in the back of Paul's boat.
Or on the inside of your hull.
Or inside the hull.
This is the widest section right here. It's the longest section. So that if you can fit in from here to here, then you're good, because everything else is thinner than that.
This length is gonna be a tough fit. It's probably doable. I could probably jimmy it in there. But yeah, there's definitely a difference. And then we didn't really look fully at this, but the wheel construction, these are super basic plastic wheels with a little kind of rubber tread on there. They're not bad. I was actually surprised by these. Like they're pretty good build quality. For the 80 bucks I spent on this thing, those wheels are pretty darn good. They're actually similar in quality to the Boondocks landing gear I have, which drives me nuts.
Just smaller.
Yeah, those wheels are 300 bucks, or that setup is 300 bucks. Those wheels are 25. But yeah. Anything else on these?
No, I think we should
load them up.
Let's show you how you're going to use this.
All right, your boat is on the ground.
Why would you want that in the middle and not the back?
So the nice thing about having wheels like this is that we can set the wheels in the middle of the boat, making the boat feel effortless to pull. which is insane, compared to our Boondocks landing gear, which unfortunately sits in the way back.
That's actually what that little spot is for, right there.
Yeah,
that's
this
the
is
rail
designed to
for
take
the,
that.
Yep.
So you could put Boondocks on this. The problem is, look at how far back that is.
So you're taking all the weight from this portion of the boat all the way back to where the wheel is. And in this case, when it's in the middle, you're accepting none of the weight.
Yep. So let's see how this goes without having a kickstand.
So he's got to lift that up pretty high to get over. Yeah, but there it goes, settles in nicely. And now Jeff is ready to roam. Not bad.
It's holding on there pretty good, and this weighs nothing. This is so easy. So that's ready to go in the water.
Now this is far superior, in my opinion, to the ones that go in your scupper holes, the wheels that have two poles that go in your scupper. Because you have to tip your whole kayak up sideways. Everything rolls to that side or falls out. And when you're in the water, that's the worst. But this you can do anywhere on flat land. It's pretty nice. So if I'm gonna do this from the truck, all I'm gonna do is I kind of figure out like where roughly the middle of my boat's gonna be when I pull it down from here. So I'm gonna assume it's about right here. So I just throw it here. I use my little kicky stands. See, got them down. And then I'm gonna slide my boat out.
Another quick option that you guys could do with this is you could actually take your straps, run them through the little loops on the side there, and then pull it up onto your boat as it sits hanging off of your truck. So there is a speed route that you can go where it's just rigged up.
I don't even know that that's much faster. So see, I'm basically just gonna pull my kayak down, sort of like you normally would.
Yep.
And I can see I'm close to the middle here. So I'm just gonna go right there.
And then you're gonna pivot.
I'm just gonna pick it up from right here. Set it on. So it's just
There you go. Quick shimmy adjust.
Ultimately, that's the idea. You're just gonna lift and set it on. And
there you go.
Kickstands are making it really easy. You can use your foot, you just flip them up. Now you're ready to roll. Same thing as Jeff's boat. So basically I'm just gonna find my seat right here, which is a little bit back from the dead center. I'm just gonna put it right there. I've already got my kicky feet down. I got it at a little bit of an angle because when I drag this over, I'm gonna be at an angle. So you got a little bit of guessing there, but all I gotta do, same thing as Jeff, pick it up, roll over, get myself adjusted a bit, and I'm on. We're rolling out. Pretty easy, and that's what you're doing at the ramp when you're done, right? So when you're pulling out, that's your plan.
All right, so a quick pull test. I want to see how the big diameter wheels feel. Quick pull test. We got the big wheels. Literally super easy. I'm not feeling a single one of these rocks or bumps right now. So that's solid. Tip you down. Little tiny wheels.
Oh, I actually saw yours rocking. I saw yours moving.
Yeah.
It's because you're in the desert.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
All right, so tiny wheels. Definitely getting hung up on a lot of stuff right now. So there is a big difference in diameter, and whether you guys get these on Amazon, you buy something fancy like the Yak Attack, there are options for other wheels. I could replace these. I could go get some bigger wheels if I want to. So maybe like the aftermarket wheel is a cheaper potential endeavor. It's worth it for the bigger diameter. Bigger diameter, easier rolling. That's a fact.
And it's really hard to say because like realistically, if your whole boat is like, if you're like a drop-in guy, more of an occasional angler, this is still something you have to have. And so spending up if you don't want to, this is fine. Nope. Like this is fine.
80 bucks.
Yeah, so I think
180 bucks. Both work effectively. So do you have to spend up?
No.
Not necessarily.
But I am glad that I did. Like now that I have these, like I'm happy with it, but that's spent money. I could have gotten 2 of those for the price of 1 of these. So kind of hard to justify to some folks, to me. Again, I'm already, all in on a bunch of kayak stuff, and I'm going to use this for 2 different kayaks at this point. So I'm really happy with that. I'm using it every day. I'm good. I'm okay. I'm good.
Yep. I could definitely see the value of that. The wheels were something where I wanted to go right up the middle. Yeah. I was like, I don't want to go super cheap on these. Yep. Yeah, like there are like $30 wheels you can get on Amazon, but I also don't necessarily want to spend 180 bucks for any reason. So
fair enough.
Yeah. I think it's up to you guys. It depends on how much you want to spend on it, how often you're wheeling these things around, what kind of terrain you're on.
Your level of physical fitness and like what you can handle, because this is going to be harder for you. Sometimes they're going to slide off and it's just kind of an annoyance. So it's like, what do you want to deal with versus what do you want to pay to not deal with? Yep. There's no wrong answer. You made the right call.
Good job, you.
Yeah, you did great.
But hopefully this was helpful for you guys. If you are considering like, oh, maybe I could get away with these. Again, this is Ganfind X is the brand. They're one of the top rated Amazon options for wheels. There's tons of like really not good options on there too.
Yeah, Wilderness.
These ones were pretty well
This is kind of a rip-off of Wilderness Systems. So Wilderness Systems makes this almost the exact same thing with like higher-end components. Theirs is $200, I'm pretty sure.
It is.
So
it's like $209.
But like it's got more of the features that this one has, but the construction of this one. So if you like this one, but you wanted a nicer version, it does exist. Wilderness Systems, great company, makes a ton of great stuff. And I mean, I don't have that wheel, so I can't say it's the greatest, but I'm sure it's like an upgraded version of that one.
100%. All right, y'all, we got some fishing to do. So thanks for watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.
Later.